Hello, I'm back from the madhouse. I'm back from London, and I've done a load of video while I was up in London of the farmers' protest. I did video. It was very, very difficult for me actually to try and do video for YouTube and kind of be part of something. And so maybe I haven't got the best video that I would normally do. Do you know what? You got to almost wear two hats. You want to be there almost just filming it and not being part of it. But I was trying do my bit for UK farming, and I met my MP and I took part in the protest. So it's kind of a bit of a mixed bag. The videos on that will be up on YouTube probably on the weekend, split into two, one of the protests and one of actually the NFU chairman's speech, because that was spot on. But I thought I'd kind of come here and give you a few thoughts about it while it's fresh in my mind, and really tell you kind of what it was like to experience it, because I know a lot of you couldn't get there, and a lot of people would like to have been there. And I was very lucky actually. I saw both sides of the protest, because I was at the protest march organised by Ollie Harrison and his team, but I was also part of the NFU mass lobby event, which I went to. And before I want to talk about that, I want to say I don't represent the NFU or work for them or anything, or only have a particular allegiance with them, but I wanted to sort of talk about what they did, because first of all, that was what my main thing was there. I was one of the 1,800 farmers that went there as an NFU member to meet the MPs. Now, anyone who I've heard a kind of like a bit of slating of the NFU online about what happened up in London, saying they didn't organise anything, or they weren't part, it was exclusive and stuff like that. Do you know what? It's not exclusive for anyone. It was anyone in the NFU could have gone to this protest if they wanted to apply. If you cry that you weren't part of it, you weren't part of it because you either aren't an NFU member, or you couldn't be bothered to sign up. Because I managed to follow it, and I'm not the most techie bloke, but the emails made it very clear how to do it, linked you to a letter to the MP, logged you in and registered you, everything. If you don't want to be an NFU member, that's fine, but don't cry that you weren't invited to go to it, because that's what our membership fees pay for. And I would say there was significant cost in running this event, hiring the hall, there was even catering for us. They put on bacon sandwiches and stuff, which you bloody needed, because after a long day out there, you need something. But the transport there, everything, they covered it all. But they meticulously organised it into groups meeting their MPs. It was you and I. You might say, "Oh, I need to speak to my MP or write to them." When do you do that? Really, you don't, do you? They actually nailed that down. So I saw a very slick operation right from the moment I got on the coach at 5:30 a.m. in Cirencester. We were very much chaperoned in a positive way, because to be honest, I spoke to a lady behind me who was really struggling to be in London. She wasn't comfortable there at all. She went for her beliefs like all of us, but she was struggling to go to that sort of place. But they guided her really well, and me. I wasn't comfortable going there, but they got us to a conference centre down the road from Westminster. Now, believe me, that can't be easy to book out a whole place for a day at very short notice. They took us to in groups over to Parliament, or I think Portcullis House at different times, and we met our MPs. We also had a refuge to go back to, because at the end of the day, sometimes you just need somewhere to go, don't you? And you don't always want to sit in a pub, and it was just nice to go somewhere where you felt comfortable and you could just catch your breath. But they did a really good job at engaging with us, with the MPs. Now, I met the Lib Dem MP, my local MP, and you might argue, well, what good is that going to do? You want to meet the Labour ones. Well, a lot of people did meet the Labour MPs. Now, they're already tied by the party line, as we're not backing down on this. So more than anything, it was, and Ian was doing that with his Labour MP, more than anything was getting over a point that their party had missed about the reasons why this tax doesn't work and is crippling for farming. So that was a good thing there. And actually, quite to be fair, some of the feedback is some of the MPs are going to engage with the farmers and visit their farms to see what it's like. The good thing about meeting the opposition, Lib Dem and Conservative, is they might not be in power now, but they've all come out and said this tax is wrong and bad. And I think the Conservatives gone as far as say they'll repeal it. The main thing with this is that we need to keep the pressure on those guys, because they definitely have the power to follow what they said and remove this tax. The difficulty with the Labour Party is I don't think they'll back down on this, because they will lose so much political face that they won't back down on it. The best you can maybe hope for is maybe a moving of the bans or something. Say we listened a little bit, but they're adamant they don't like farmers, do they really? I had to laugh when Keir Starmer said in Brazil that he's given £5 billion over the next 2 years to farmers. Well, his inheritance tax bill is only about 500 million. So if he's really that, if he really wants to listen to farmers, why don't you cut the amount of subsidy or grants you're giving and scrap the inheritance tax? Because I reckon every farmer will go, yeah, we'll have that. Because most of this stuff you're promising is kind of a bit like jam tomorrow. It doesn't really exist. It's like floats around and then doesn't get used and things like that. And a lot of consultants and stuff take a cut of it, and the farmer doesn't really get all that 5 billion. I can tell you that now. Anyway, so the NFU did a blinding job, and I'm not going to stand by and let anyone criticise what they achieved that day, because they did a really good job. They got us to where we needed to be, the seat of democracy, if you want to call it that. Although, interestingly, in that secret seat of democracy, I wasn't allowed to wear my Union Jack jacket. I was told to take that off when I went through security as a banned item. And I didn't have a massive argument, because I realised I wasn't going to win that. And also, I didn't want to cause a scene and end up being chucked out or anything. But I just said, this is ridiculous. I'm in the Houses of Parliament representing the UK, wearing a jacket which is made out of the Union Jack, representing farmers from around the UK, and that's a banned item. If you can't have your own national flag in the Houses of Parliament, that's kind of a bit dodgy, isn't it, I think? What's that say about the world that we're living in now, doesn't it? Tells you a certain message, anyway. Okay, so anyway, moving on from the NFU side of it, I 100% believe it was well worth going just for that. But there was also the absolutely fantastic rally organised by Ollie Harrison and a team. To be honest, Ollie Harrison, I can't claim I know him, but I've engaged. Let's say I've engaged to him. I've spoken to him on the phone a few times and texted him and stuff. Ollie Harrison, what an incredible chap to pull that together. But also, we have to give credit to the team around him. Honestly, I can't remember. There was a list of the names of the people helping him, and I do apologise. I can't remember their names, but I'd have to look it up, and I'm not that good. But they know who they are. You might know. You can look them up. So Ollie was a kind of figurehead, I guess, and then he pulled in all these people to help him. And what a thing to put together again, like the NFU, in such short notice more than anything. And to have the balls to do it, and the financial backing, because there would have been a cost there to them to do that, but the balls to do it, really. Do you know what? I couldn't do that. I wouldn't know where to start to organise a rally in Whitehall and get it all sorted and get people there, and the stress. I wouldn't be able to sleep. So before I say anything about the rally, the massive thank you to those who organised it, because you just pulled off something which was incredible. And it kind of just shows you the versatility of British farming, is that we're very adaptable, and we'll rise to a challenge, and they did. Right, but actually at the rally, that was incredible. Flipping heck. The sea of people there, mostly in green. The sea of people there. I saw Cornish farmers carrying cauliflowers in trays on their heads with the Cornish flag for the food bank. People were putting things on the food bank. Clarkson was there. I saw various other YouTubers and stuff around the edges. But more than anything, I just saw the genuine family farmers there, and they weren't walking around loads of money, swag, Range Rovers and blah blah blah. This is what the Labour Party don't seem to realise. It's just genuine guys. I met dairy farmers from Devon and Cumbria, people from Yorkshire. They come from all over, and that isn't an easy task for any of us, is it, to get down there to London? I bet some people probably haven't been to London for donkey's years, and the thought of going there filled them with dread. But they did it. They managed to get it in front of Whitehall as well, in front of Downing Street area, which I was surprised at, because I thought it would be in the park, but they pulled it back and it was there. There was plenty of media coverage. You probably saw a bit of that on TV. I was so embarrassed to say I was on the BBC News, actually, and I did have a little bit of a moment. And any of you know me, I do get choked up with stuff, but it was from the heart. And if you know me, I'm not there to just try and be on telly. I'm there because I kind of do stuff like that. But do you know what? Hats off to the farming community. If the whole inheritance tax thing is crap and we all hate it, but if anything's good that's come out of it, it's pulled a lot of people together, and it makes you realise how much you love what you do, and they love the people in it. And I get a bit choked up myself now. And to go and see those people, you know, and be part of, you're walking through that crowd and you look around and you know me and everyone there, you kind of know where you're from. You know you got muck on your hands, and the next day you've got flipping cows calving, or you know you've got to get your grain loaded up to get off. You know those people in that room aren't living the life that Keir Starmer thinks we're living, where we're just so minted that we can't wait to pay a bit of inheritance. I know these people, you know, some of these people are struggling with bills, and the overdraft on the farm is horrific, and you know the next day the flipping cow dies, and I know what that feels like, and I know I was in those people, decent, honest, hard-working British farmers, and you know, and men and women, not just blokes. It's all of us together, isn't it? We're all a team together on a farm. Anyway, I wanted to put this up just to say what it was like, because it's fresh in my mind, and kind of I just wanted to download it, if you like. But do you know what? I came back, I got home about 9:30, so it wasn't too bad. I was just happy to walk in the door and see my kids and family and sit down, and we did a good day. And everyone else who went there, whether it was to meet MPs or go and see Clarkson and just hear him for a bit of a laugh. And, you know, we were there, solidarity, and we were all there together, but good to be back on the farm, innit? Right, I'm sorry, this is just a download video, downloading my thoughts. I'm going to get back to work. Like, I've got some flipping heifers here. Look at them. Wait, hello. I bet you they're out of hay. Are they out of hay? Yeah, look, they're telling me they've got no grub. Don't know, bad farmer. Right, I'm going to feed these now. So, anyway, the full videos will be up on YouTube Saturday and Sunday. But, all right, crack on. I'm cracking on. Anyone who's at the rally now, you got to crack on. We've got a bit of work to catch up on, haven't we? Crack on.